Rustlers today are number 10, Caleb Dognall. Number 30, Nick Mendez. Number 65, Chris Garcia. And number 99, Buddy Sageo.
Right here, guys, introduce yourself right here. I'm Mr. Smith, I'm the referee. This is Mr. Chastain, he'll be your umpire. Good luck today, man. Main thing on the field for me, guys, is good sportsmanship. That's the only thing that matters. You guys play hard, knock your crap on each other, I don't care, but be good sportsmanship about it, okay? So I got a coin here. I'm going to call you black, call you guys white, okay? Heads, tails. Heads, tails, you're the business. You can call what you call. Call tails. Okay, the call is tails. It says tails on it. Heads, black, you want to toss, you can defer, take the ball. Defer, you guys make the ball. Stand there and kick that first one. And same sides here, and I'll make it happen. Golden West has won the toss. They will defer the choice. East LA will receive. Shake hands and good luck.
Hello and welcome once again to Golden West College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com today. The Rustlers return home after a 2-week road trip, and they will take on the East Los Angeles College Huskies in a rematch of last year's Patriot Bowl. The Huskies will come back looking for a measure of revenge. Jeff Stoynoff, Mike Zapata with you from Huntington Beach. Just set to go. We're going to step aside here for the national anthem, come back, get you going from Huntington Beach.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Jim Johnson, thank you.
Hey, set the tone, let's go. Get on that ball. Oh, that cute stuff. Get on that ball. Set the tone. Set the tone. Come on. Find the ball and break down. Let's go.
The officials for today's game, the referee is Shane Smith. The umpire.
Oh yeah, baby, camera.
The head linesman is Nicholas Frescas. The line judge is
And we welcome you back to Huntington Beach for Golden West College football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. A mild, if not slightly cool afternoon. The winds up here in Huntington Beach. They should be about 10 to 15 miles per hour. But otherwise, generally perfect weather for football once again. And the Rustlers back with a record of 2-1 on the season. They got back to their winning ways after a loss at Riverside in Week 2 with an impressive win at San Diego Mesa, a 28-7 win for the Rustlers. Meanwhile, the Huskies coming off a 51-0 loss at Fullerton College. They are 2-1 on the season, but they'll look to try to get back to their winning ways here, but they've got another tough assignment. We are underway, high end-over-end kick taken at the 15-yard line by the up back. The Huskies in the road whites will start their first possession at the 35-yard line, and we'll see if we see freshman quarterback Trillian Harris or last year's starter, Frank Alvarez. Harris has seen a majority of the snaps so far this season for East Los Angeles College. They'll spot it at the 34. Of course, we're entering week 4 of the season, and that means that injuries starting to become more and more of a factor for all of these teams, but certainly for Golden West on the defensive side of the ball, where they lose arguably 2 of their biggest playmakers in linebacker Jordan Palomino, who's out for the year, and Brogan Diasis, the defensive end, also unavailable today with a calf injury. So the Rustlers are somewhat depleted, especially on the front 6. We'll see if the Huskies can make some hay out of that. They start with a handoff to Honstetter, and he is hit behind the line, a loss on the play of a couple of yards. Braden Bailey was quickly back in the backfield along with Buddy Sagiao, and Buddy Sagiao moves into the lineup at that defensive end spot with the absence of Diasis. Actually, they give Honstetter a pretty good spot back to the 35, so call it a gain of 1, nonetheless a 2nd and 9 for East Los Angeles College. Just underway, Rustler football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Harris into the pocket, and he is going to be swarmed under and sacked. Coming off the edge, it was Brayton Bailey. The Rustlers always good at getting after the quarterback. They had 6 sacks over the first 2 weeks of the season. They get going early in this one as Bailey, running a stunt from his nose tackle spot, comes off the edge and brings down Harris, and very quickly it's 3rd and very long for East Los Angeles College. Well, last week for ELAC was certainly a disaster from start to finish. But in the words of Bobby Godinez, the head coach for East Los Angeles College, it was also one of the strangest games he had ever seen. Tipped and caught out near midfield for a first down. What a sensational catch for DeGabriel Floyd. And Floyd is a do-everything, outstanding talent for the Huskies. He also starts in the defensive backfield. He was recruited directly out of high school at the University of Texas and was actually on his way there. Ran into some injury problems there, wasn't cleared to play, made the decision to transfer to Golden West and reset things, but it's a substantial coup for East Los Angeles College to get a talent like Floyd. And Bobby Godinez likes to use him in any way that he can, so you will see him on offense as well. Hand off to Honstetter. Again, not much doing. A gain of perhaps a yard or 2.
The handoff goes to Justin Stinson.
So Jake Honstetter, the sophomore out of Clarkston, Michigan, with a gain of a couple, leaves a 2nd down and 8. That is a huge 3rd down pickup going back to the completion to Floyd. Rustlers just that close to getting off the field immediately after deferring when they won the opening toss. Getting back to last week, you take a look at the stats from the game, and it's strange is really the best word for it. The yards from scrimmage relatively even, the first downs relatively even. The Huskies, did hurt themselves with 3 turnovers in the game, but that's not an astronomical number. But it was just one of those days. Give the Hornets a lot of credit. They took full advantage. A couple of the turnovers led to very short fields, 2 blocked kicks as well for East Los Angeles College. 1 led directly to a return for a touchdown, and it got away from them early and often en route to the 51-0 win. But again, one of those weird results where, at least on paper in terms of the stats, East Los Angeles College not exactly blown away in that one, even though the scoreboard would more tell that story. They set up the screen, and weaving his way forward, it's Smith down to the 40. Looks like he got just enough for the first down.
He's short.
Looked like he needed 7, and he got about 8.
Certainly looks short to me.
Yeah. Well, they gave him a pretty good spot, and indeed it is another first down and another 3rd down pickup. And it is not a common thing to see teams picking up 3rd downs, especially 3rd and longs, against this Golden West College defense. But here on the opening drive, a couple of 3rd down conversions keep things going. Back to Smith, cutting it back. Drags a tackler for a gain of a couple before he is stood up and driven back.
That's good restraint by the defense. They certainly could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, Mendez pushing back there, but manages to pull himself back before the flag comes in, and you certainly don't want to hurt yourself with a personal foul. Already, the Huskies are on the move at the Golden West 38, facing a 2nd down and 8.
Nice.
And we should point out quickly, Michael, that it is Frank Alvarez, the sophomore, who saw a majority of the snaps last year, who's getting the start. Alvarez came in with just 17 pass attempts on the season over the first 3 weeks, but he gets the call here today. Getting the start. Screen out to Smith. Smith is brought down at about the 34 after a gain of 4 yards. Moving up to make the stop, it was Davis Thacker, the safety. That will leave a 3rd down and call it 3. They'll give 5 yards to Smith. Honstetter returns in the backfield. They'll split out leading receiver Bryson Corbin to the right, along with DeAndre Knox in the slot. And keep an eye over on the left side. I believe that's Kennedy Lewis. Honstetter gets the carry, and Honstetter has the 1st down. Stood up at the 29, a 4-yard run on 3rd and 3, another 3rd down conversion. It was Jakari Embry on the stop for Golden West. But again, this is exactly what you want if you're East Los Angeles College. So far, they have taken a little more than 6 minutes off the clock on this opening drive. They are moving the football at the Golden West 29-yard line. And again, this coming off the tough result from a week ago against Fullerton College. But it brings up a point that Bobby Godinez made when we talked to him this week and said sometimes a result like that does have some modest silver lining. Those are my words, not his, but it is a wake-up call to his young team. As he said, we made the trip to Fullerton and we got off the bus and we just were not 100% ready to play football in that game. And it sends a very clear message that when you play particularly the top teams in the SCFA, if you're not 100% ready to go, that's the kind of result you can see. And they tried to send that message this week as they got back to work in the wake of the loss at Fullerton. And so far, this is a great response by his young team. On the opening drive, again, the clock continues to move down to 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. So a 7-minute plus drive, a 2nd and 7 from the Golden West 26-yard line. Honstetter remains in the backfield in the pistol formation behind Alvarez, receivers left and right. And back to Honstetter, big hit by Mendez, but Honstetter falls forward to the 22. Well, talking about Tyler Smith and Honstetter, Bobby Godinez referred to them as Thunder and Lightning. Smith being more of the speedster and Honstetter the power back, and there you get a sense of the power. That's a linebacker delivering the hit, and Honstetter still managed to fall forward.
That is a throwback to Mike Allstott right there.
Yeah. That is pretty good. That's a pretty good call. I would say it was eerily similar in a lot of ways.
Honstetter?
Yeah, it should be Honstetter.
Honstetter, excuse me.
Yep. 3rd and 2. They fake to Honstetter, but Alvarez in trouble in the backfield. Not fooled on the play was Christian Patero. That's a great read by Patero as they try the read option.
That's terrific discipline on the RPO. And, well, here comes a long field goal attempt.
Yeah. So the Rustlers do get the 3rd down stop eventually. Ethan Rodriguez will attempt a field goal. This will be a 43-yard attempt. Rodriguez is 3 for 5 on the season with a long of 42 yards. So this would be his longest of the season. It'll come from the left hash. Snap, placement down. Kick away. And pulled it to the left. Rodriguez misses from 43 yards. And the Huskies will settle for taking about 8:42 off the clock on that opening drive, but they come up empty on the scoreboard. We're still scoreless.
Well, some silver lining. Time of possession. They have had the ball since the outset, almost a 10-minute drive for the Huskies. So maybe signs of life from the offense. Now they just got to punch it in.
Yeah, and perhaps not a complete accident. They were beaten badly in terms of time of possession against Fullerton a week ago, and certainly want to take some pressure off of their defense, and they do that, taking almost 9 minutes off the clock, but no points to show for it. Parker Awad leads the Rustler offense onto the field in a first down handoff for a gain of perhaps a yard. Jashawn Pate on the carry. Pate, leading rusher over the first couple of weeks of the season, and stepped into a bigger role a week ago with Rafakici, who shares time in the backfield with Jashawn Pate unavailable in the win over Mesa. So Pete saw decidedly more action and figures to see quite a few carries today. Now Sam Lybeer, the other back in the backfield of that trio of backs that do most of the work for the Rustlers, unavailable with an injury here today. Awad in trouble, tries to dump it short. It's incomplete, and quickly it's third down and a long 8 for Golden West.
Well, you gotta extend the drive here. As good as ELAC was on third down, their opening drive. Golden West needs to return the favor because that defense probably a little tired after that opening stanza there from the Huskies.
Awad coming off his strongest performance of the season in the victory over San Diego Mesa with 3 touchdown passes in the 28-7 win. Completes to Jimenez out to the 36-yard line. Well, let's see with forward momentum. He was right about the 36 there, and yeah, he gets to the 37 as he's able to slip out of one tackle, and that was enough to get the first down. DJ Shanks had a chance, but couldn't bring down Jimenez, who had one of the 3 touchdown receptions in the victory over Mesa last week.
Does a good job sitting down in the zone and then picking up a couple extra yards, puts his hand in the ground, turns and moves.
So Awad, who now has 5 touchdown passes on the season without an interception, with a fresh set of downs and a first down handoff to Jashawn Pate, who weaves his way forward out past the 40 to the 42. Should see Rafakici as well today, returning from an injury after missing the game a week ago. Second down and 6. They fake it. Now Awad gonna fire out in the flat. This could be a backwards pass. He was looking for Deshani McIntosh. Let's see what the call is here. I think they're calling this incomplete.
This is a backwards pass.
Okay. Yeah, that's good eyes, Mike. Indeed, McIntosh, I think, setting up for the screen, but that one was behind him, and that's a heady play by Awad to get back and cover up the football. It is a big loss on the play, but the Rustlers at least maintain possession. They'll have it at the 38, facing a 3rd and 10.
It's a heady play after a terrible blunder.
Yeah, McIntosh, it looked like, kind of gave up on that play, and that nearly cost the Rustlers. McIntosh seeing more playing time with an injury today to Colin Payne, who's not available. Normal slot receiver, short crossing route, and the ball knocked free on the completion to True Tanner. The Huskies are saying they have it.
Massive hit.
Looked like that was Shanks.
Yep.
Again, coming up to jar that football loose. And after failing to force a turnover a week ago in the loss at Fullerton, the Huskies immediately able to force one here today. And they'll get a short field at the Golden West 39-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. And Alvarez will bring the Husky offense on. Well, Alvarez was perfect on the opening drive, 3 for 3 for 33 yards. Dual setbacks, first down carry, and a good push on the right side of that offensive line as Watkins picks up 5 yards to the 34. Sire Williams, Omega Williams on the right side of that East Los Angeles College offensive line. A veteran offensive line with a number of returners from a year ago. Second down carry for Watkins, no gain on the play. And that will leave a 3rd down and 5.
Jackson with the tackle, 3rd down.
Jackson on the stop. And again, the Rustlers 3 of 4 on 3rd down early in this one. And they face another one here. Well, so far there's some positives certainly for the Huskies here in this first quarter, but this is a short field, and if the Rustlers can get off the field here, the Huskies are giving away an awful lot of potential momentum here if they have to settle again for no points. Screen pass and a first down and more for Watkins out past the 25 before he is finally driven back. Another third down pickup, well-designed screen to Watkins. See, with blockers in front. Corbin with the block as well. And Watkins gets all the way to the 22, where it'll be 1st and 10.
Looking back there, did the lineman release before the ball was thrown?
Yeah, getting pretty well downfield.
I mean, that's too ineligible downfield, but where's the flag?
Andrew Espinoza, the right guard. No flag forthcoming, and it's a 1st and 10 from the 22. Again, dual setbacks. Watkins trying to follow his right guard once again, but hit for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11, and yeah, that was Nick Mendez coming up, and Mendez had a big play on special teams in the win at Mesa. Late in the first half with Golden West leading 14-7, it was Mendez who got free and blocked a punt, setting up a short field. Golden West was able to capitalize with a touchdown pass to Caleb Docknall to take a 21-7 lead into the locker room at the half. They went on from there to win it 28-7. 2nd down and 12. Watkins on the right side picks his way forward. Good yardage for Watkins down to the 14. And that will leave a big 3rd and 2.
Pretty good push on that front.
Yeah, 10-yard run.
Line.
Watkins hasn't seen a whole lot of action over the first 3 weeks.
This is your typical trap game, Jeff. You come in against an opponent who was absolutely thrashed last week. You think, hey, we're just going to roll the balls out. Everything's going to go our way. They're getting smacked in the mouth early.
Yep. When we talked to Nick Mitchell, we didn't talk so much about whether or not this was a trap game, but just talked about his general assessment of East Los Angeles College. And he said, hey, they are big, they're athletic, they're talented. And they know that this is a tremendous opponent. And a very risky one. 3rd down pass incomplete. It was intended for Smith coming out of the backfield. That will bring up 4th down and a decision for the Huskies. Do they go for another field goal? This would be from 32 yards. Rodriguez missed moments ago. There is a flag down. Steve Smith, our referee today.
Pass interference, number 5 of the defense. Spot foul.
Well,
yep, Jakari Embry. Pass interference, and that is going to give the Huskies another 1st down. It's a 3rd down conversion via the penalty, but another chance for the Huskies after they convert once again, this time with a little help from Golden West. So that'll spot it at the 5. Excuse me, at the 10. A little bit of a tough angle. 1st and goal. From the 10-yard line, Smith in the pistol formation behind Alvarez. And they go to Smith on the screen, and that is all kinds of trouble. Thacker moving up quickly, a loss on the play of 5 yards. And this is a noteworthy play because, again, Bobby Godin has talked about the importance going against this Golden West defense. He said, you have to go north-south. We have to get going downhill. You cannot go side to side against a defense this fast, and that was a play call that certainly called for a lot of lateral movement, and Davis Thacker was not fooled in the least. That will be the final play of the first quarter. Through 1, no score, Golden West and ELAC. It's Rustler football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. And a reminder, Golden West College football brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at Golden West and Warner is proud to be the official chicken sandwich of the Golden West College Rustler Athletics. Yeah.
Clemson just had a chance to win the game and they missed a 29-yard guy.
Oh, were they playing?
Florida State.
Second down and goal.
Second and goal to start the second quarter for the Huskies, who lead it, or I should say no score, but on the doorstep, trying to grab the early lead.
Second and goal from the 15. Chance for the Rustlers to give away the minimum.
Lewis solo to the left. Kennedy Lewis, a dynamic playmaker, but the Huskies will go to the ground on second and goal. Watkins, minimal gain on the play. Harrison Koffel from his middle linebacker spot, able to bring him down after a gain of 2. And that leaves a third and goal from the 13. Getting back to Kennedy Lewis, averaging a little over 24 yards of reception on 7 catches over the first 3 weeks. But this is a fast and talented wide receiver core, and that certainly caught the attention of Nick Mitch, who said that's an area where we have to try to match up, but they are a handful on the outside. Alvarez with Smith in the backfield, and play clock running down.
I think they call a timeout. Yep.
And they did call a timeout. So East Los Angeles takes their first timeout, facing a third and goal from the Golden West 13. You are watching Golden West College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Third and goal from the 13. Time of possession over the first little bit more than 1 quarter here from Golden West. 13 and a half minutes for East Los Angeles to just 2.5 minutes time of possession for Golden West so far. Alvarez stepping up in the pocket, makes a move at the 15. Moving to his left, he'll head out of bounds. Embry able to usher him out well short of the goal line at about the 8-yard line, but Alvarez does make a little something out of nothing. There you see the move on Mendez. And the sophomore Alvarez heads for the sidelines. Gets it a little bit closer for Rodriguez, who will once again try to give the Huskies the lead. He missed from 43 yards in the first quarter. This one will be from 25 yards out. Placement down, kick away. And this one up and good. So Rodriguez gets the Huskies on the board. They lead it 3-0, 13-20 remaining in the second quarter. You're watching Golden West College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Huskies with the lead, and this perhaps underscores a point that we wanted to make in the broadcast today, which is talk about strength of schedule, and maybe nobody has had a tougher start of their schedule than Golden West College, who comes in at a record of 2-1, but their 3 opponents, a combined record this season of 7-2, and the only 2 losses to Golden West College. So none of the teams they played have lost to anybody else. And that is a very, very tough schedule to start. And it doesn't look like it's getting a whole lot easier today, the way that East Los Angeles College is playing, at least over the first quarter and a minute or two.
Yeah, you go back to week 1, and certainly an exclamation point on Bakersfield. And then Bakersfield's kind of righted the ship after 3 weeks.
Yep. And we talked about during that game that there were some things to be impressed with Bakersfield, even though Golden West came out for their opener like they were shot out of a cannon, as they so often do. But Bakersfield did show some signs, and indeed they have turned that into a couple of wins. They're 2-1. First down carry and good yardage on the left side out to the 32-yard line. Ikechi with his first carry, and it goes for 8 yards, leaving a 2nd down and 2. Following Trent Light on the left side of that Rustler offensive line that gets a little bit more good news today with the return of Hayden Harlan, the right tackle, after missing a game. So he's back, solidifying that offensive line. 2nd down and 2. Play action and a wad low throw, but catch is made at the 36. Jimenez with a reception and a first down. They'll give Jimenez 5 yards. That'll move the chains. Golden West looking for an answer. They trail it 3-0. But more than an answer on the scoreboard, I think they're looking for even just a few minutes of possession, start to even things up.
Yeah, how about just a sustained drive?
First down carry and good yardage again for Akichi. Following his right guard, Josiah Laban, Chris Garcia. A good push. 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard run. Four wide receivers for the Rustlers. Back to Akichi, running right. Not much doing, and he is brought down at the 45. Again, Shanks moving up quickly, along with Tamir Jackson. Jackson, part of an outstanding linebacker core. He and his partner in crime, Zach Camarena. A couple of sophomores for the Huskies, and they really key this defense. Camarena, a returner from last year and a vocal leader of this defensive unit, and Jackson, just an explosive talent at the linebacker position. Blitz coming, quick throw. What a great read from Awad as he gets it out to Pete for a first down. Well, watch Awad here as the blitz comes. And that's a great play, because Tim Fleischhood is coming unblocked there, and that means that that's Awad's read. Fleischhood is Awad's man. He has got to see that and make the check down, and that's exactly what he does. That keeps the drive going into Husky territory at the 44. 1st and 10. Pete in the backfield, play action, good protection. Now starts to break down. Awad looking deep into the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Tanner. And Tanner working one-on-one back there. And there is DeGabriel Floyd from his safety spot, getting back and just getting a hand in for just a moment. The Rustlers had True Tanner free and clear, but there you get a quick sense of the athleticism of Floyd, who's able to recover and get a hand in and break that up. And, you know, talking about DeGabriel Floyd and what he has meant to this team, and the obvious talent that he brings to the table. But Bobby Godinez says that maybe the greatest thing about him is what a great teammate he has been for the Huskies, what a great player he has been in this program. Said that despite his talent, as Awad is into the open field down to the 24 before he has brought down another first down for Golden West. But getting back to Floyd, said that despite having such exceptional talent, maybe a guy who could get away with taking some shortcuts if he wanted to, not what he does. Comes to practice always on time, works hard, tremendously humble, and he's just been a great addition to this program. But Awad on the scramble all the way down to the 24 where it's 1st and 10. Good answer back from the Rustlers. Read option and brought down in the backfield. Fleischhood gets there this time on Awad. Back to the 27-yard line, a loss of 3. 2nd down and 13. Well, it's not easy to go east and west against Golden West, but don't kid yourself. It's not easy to go east and west against East Los Angeles either. As Fleischhood tracks down Awad as he tries to get to the outside. 2nd down and 13. Akichi staying in the backfield. Gets the handoff with a head of steam. He's into the secondary. Bounces off a tackler at the 15. Akichi's going to take it in for a touchdown.
Man, how about that burst?
Well, they had a shot at him right there and can't get him off his feet. That is good hard running from Akichi, the transfer from Compton College. Comes in working with Pete. And for Akichi, that's his first rushing touchdown of the season. And the Rustlers answer right back as they go 76 yards. Capped off by the Akichi touchdown run. They lead at 6-3. .27 yards on that scamper. And you saw a little bit of everything from Akichi there. The good burst through the line, the good vision, and then the strength to cap it off, breaking the tackle. Let's watch one more time. And worthy of mention certainly there is the great job by that front 5. That's a lot of running room for Akichi, getting him into the secondary where he does the rest, as Golden West takes the 7-3 lead with 8:42 remaining in the first half. Well, the Huskies just that quickly find themselves looking up on the scoreboard. Golden West goes 76 yards in about 4.5 minutes and take the 7-3 lead. Ottman adds the extra point. Short kick and a collision at the 42. A couple of Husky players down, but appear to be getting up. So East Los Angeles will come away with very good field position on the Pooch kickoff. Electing to play away from the return. And instead, they give the Huskies pretty good. And there is Ralph Akichi feeling good. And why not? The Rustlers have answered back on the 27-yard touchdown run. Now the Huskies will look to respond, and Alvarez will head out there. And Alvarez has been battling some injuries in the offseason, the early part of this season. Trill Harris getting a lot of the work over the first 3 weeks at that quarterback spot. But Alvarez really distinguished himself a year ago, coming on as a freshman after some injuries at that position last year, and really acquitted himself well. It's easy to forget as the pitch and catch complete into Rustler territory at the 49. That pass complete to Baylor Corbin. But going back to a year ago, easy to forget that East Los Angeles College was very close to winning the Northern Division last year. They were in a tight race that went down to the final week, playing at home against Ventura. They trailed by 6. They were on the move, drove it into the red zone. Alvarez actually injured on the second to last play of the game. Couldn't come out for a 4th down play. Honstetter bouncing it to his left with a head of steam. He's down to the 45 and spotted at the 44. They'll spot at the 45, call it 4 yards, leaving a 2nd down and 6. But Alvarez, an injured shoulder on the second to last play. They have to bring out Quincy Ivory, who had attempted 6 passes on the season for that 4th down play. And they had a receiver open on that 4th down play, and a win in that game would have resulted in East Los Angeles winning the North and going to the playoffs. Instead, they advanced to the Patriot Bowl and played here at Golden West to close out their season. But Alvarez played very well last year, coming on as a freshman, and in fact had the Huskies in the red zone with a chance to go to the playoffs. But a couple of nagging injuries early in his sophomore season have limited his play, but he has gotten himself healthy enough to go the route so far here today. So a 2nd and 9. The Honstetter carry moments ago gave East Los Angeles a 1st down. Alvarez still perfect, 6 of 6 for 48 yards in this first half. So for Alvarez, ironically, this is his first look at Golden West, as Ivory, with the injury to Alvarez last year, got the start in the Patriot Bowl that the Rustlers won. Complete pass once again to Corbin, cut down at the 39. Watch here, and well, that is a quick close to bring down Corbin. 5 yards. Leaves a 3rd down and 5 from the Golden West 39-yard line. We'll call it a long 4. Well, interesting to see here if the play call on 3rd and 4 is with an eye toward possibly going for it on 4th down. 2 wide receivers to the right for Alvarez. Well, they pick up the flag. Jalen Moore in motion, but a timeout called before the snap. East Los Angeles going to take their 2nd charge timeout. 5:37 to go in the first half. The Huskies facing a 3rd and 4. You're watching Golden West College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Third down and 4. Huskies down to 1 timeout with 5:37 remaining here in the first half. And move Jalen Hutton solo to the left for this 3rd and 4 play. They fake, now pitch it out to Honstetter, looking for the corner, and a gain of maybe a yard. Watch how quickly here they get back outside. That looked like Kane Elroy, if I read that number right, getting quickly to the outside. 4th and 2, and East Los Angeles going to line up to go for it here from the 37 of Golden West. And the play clock at 8, and flags come in on the snap. This may take the decision
Number 59 of the offense.
out of the hands of East Los Angeles, and here comes the punting unit.
I think the center moved the nose of the ball.
And that'll back it up to 4th and 7. And that will bring on Adrian Driscoll at the 42. Noah Burdick waits at his own 10-yard line. Driscoll drops it down at the 8. Burdick hit immediately, trying to get away. Now takes another hit. Nothing on the return. And a long field for Golden West. They'll start at their own 9-yard line. So a 34-yard kick, but it pins the Rustlers deep, so a job well done for Nathan Driscoll. I should say Aiden Driscoll. And the Rustlers will have a long field, 4:22 remaining here in the first half.
Outside of not having punched the ball into the end zone, you got to be pretty impressed with the game plan and execution for ELAC here today, especially coming off the loss last week to Fullerton.
Yeah, this is a good response. No question about it. And dominated in terms of time of possession, and now winning the field position battle, at least at this point, but that will be partially subverted with that completion. Docknall with his first reception out to the 24-yard line. Let's correct that. I believe, was that Docknall or Tanner? Yeah, it's True Tanner, actually, on the reception, so Tanner. No, boy, it's hard to tell between 18 and 10. But it was True Tanner with the reception, so that gives the Rustlers a little bit of room. And speaking of room, Pete to the outside and out to the 35. They'll spot it at the 34, but 2 plays, 2 first downs. And Golden West quickly on the move, and I believe that is on the outside. Yeah, Hayden Harlan. And actually, and you see as you look at right tackle, there's Matthew Mena, who has stepped in for Harlan and played very well over the last couple of weeks. Flags are down on the carry by Pete. 2-yard run. Well, let's see if Golden West is going to cost themselves some yards, and they are. So a holding call will back it up. Not many penalties in the first half here. It's been a fast-moving first 30 minutes.
We like the upped hourly.
Well, we're already here.
Well, hey, it's a reprieve from insanity, but we get right back to the insanity next week. Quintuple header on SoCal College Sports. 5 games next Saturday. Golden West back here at noon. You, I believe, are in Ventura?
Yeah, we'll be back at Ventura. They'll be taking on Santa Barbara City College. But, yeah, Citrus, who is distinguishing themselves early after moving from the American Conference up to the National. And they are playing well, and they will be here to take on Golden West. Quick screen to McIntosh. And Floyd near horse collar, but he takes him down at the 28. So McIntosh with his first reception picks up 4 yards. And that should leave a 2nd and 16. Clock moving to 37 and counting remaining in the first half. And I think with the 7-3 lead and the time of possession being what it is in the first 30 minutes, I think if Golden West could just kill this last 2.5 minutes, maybe get themselves a shot at some points, they would be more than happy with that to head to the locker room with the lead. They've already done a pretty good job of getting out from terrible field position to start this drive. Could be a free play. Siri looking on the right side, but not on the same page with Docknall. And now a late flag comes in.
This is going to be, they're going to decline.
Yeah, it's Andrew Lewis on the coverage on the outside. And was there a little push there right at the end, Mike? We'll have a good look.
Ball's not there. Contact with the receiver.
Yeah,
head not turned around. And I don't know what Bobby Godin is mad about, because that's a clear penalty.
It's more than 5 yards downfield. There's clear contact there.
Is he making the case that it wasn't a catchable ball? Because it certainly looked like it could have been catchable. Receiver didn't have his head turned around. But
yeah. Well, it was not catchable, but only from the standpoint that Docknall did not appear to be on the same page on where that pass was coming. But, yeah, Lewis right at the end there just looks like he goes for a little jam.
I don't think there's any way you can argue there wasn't a foul committed by the defensive back on that play. Spot foul, move the chains, and a blunder from Elac going to allow a new set of downs here for the Rustlers.
Yeah, instead of, after an incompletion, a 3rd and forever, you get the 10 yards, but more importantly, you get the first down. So now the Rustlers, you would think at the very least, can close out the half.
If you're a defensive back, what are you doing contacting a receiver who doesn't even have his head turned around?
And 15 yards downfield. I'm not sure. Siri, quarterback draw, tripped up. Camarena getting a hand in, and sophomore limits Siri to about 2 yards, leaving a 2nd down and 8, under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Siri been splitting time with Parker Awad throughout the season. He's a transfer from Ventura College a season ago. Looking left, and the pass incomplete. He wanted Tanner. It's now 3rd and 8. Siri, quiet game a week ago, but he saw a majority of the action on his night in the fourth quarter with Golden West up 28-7, and Nick Mitchell said looking forward to getting him more of an opportunity to run the offense this week. So we see him in the second quarter and indeed in the 2-minute drill. But so far it's a 3rd and 8 from the 39-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left. 3-man rush. Siri in some trouble and sacked. Well, when you can rush 3 and get to the quarterback, Trevon Thomas from his defensive end spot. And watch Michael, they rush 3, but still able to get there. And East Los Angeles is going to take their final timeout, so they will make a liar out of me and get the football back here with 1:25 remaining. No timeouts, but they'll have one more chance. But what an effort by Trevon Thomas.
Well, how about what an effort by the entire defense. You get the bad penalty, you come back, and it's essentially a 3-and-out after a blunder of a play that resulted in a fresh set of downs for the Rustlers. Rustlers unable to capitalize, 1:25 remaining. I think we've seen Elac and the Huskies move the ball with a good amount of ease here in this first half. Can they translate that into points as we go in at halftime? You know,
when we talk to the coaches week to week, introducing ourselves to the team and kind of go through the different position groups, and when talking about the defensive line, Bobby Godinez said, hey, this may be the strongest unit on the team, and I see what he's talking about. When you can rush 3 in that passing situation and still get that kind of pressure on the quarterback, how much easier does it make it to play defense with that back 8 when you can take away that kind of time? That was a tremendous play, and it ends the Rustler drive, leaves 1:25 here in the first half. Low kick. This one's going to take a big bounce, taken at the 35-yard line. Floyd into the open field at midfield. Floyd, one man to beat. 25-20, down to the 10, slips out of a tackle, tries to cut it back. He is in. Oh, my. .106 remaining in the first half, and Floyd able to slip out of the tackle there into the open field, and again, just one man to beat there, but then just coming in right at the end, Marquise Brown trying to save the touchdown, but you already saw the speed. How about the strength to ward off Brown inches from the sideline, keep his feet in bounds? I was going through the numbers, and I want to make sure I make this point without going back into it, but Floyd has been used on offense. We talked about that throughout the season. Want to be careful not to overuse him, but on offense, he has 11 touches and 7 touchdowns. Well, make it 8, because he gets a punt return 65 yards to give East Los Angeles College a 10-7 lead. Golden West will get it back. 1:06 remaining, and they do have all 3 timeouts, so a chance to answer back. But again, I asked Bobby Godinez, is there a temptation when you have an athletic talent like this to want to use it? And basically his answer was, yeah, sure there is, but we want to be careful with how we use him. We also don't want to put him in a situation where we fatigue him so much on offense that he is not as available on defense where we need him late in games. But when you have this at your disposal, I imagine there's quite the temptation to get that out there every chance you can. So McIntosh and Pete back to return the kick, and once again, the Rustlers will look to answer. Back down 3. High end-over-end kick taken by McIntosh at the 1. Out to the 15, looking for the corner. He's got it. He's at the 25-30, 35, run out of bounds just short of the 40. 58 seconds and all 3 timeouts, so the Rustlers with a ton of time here. See if they can answer back before the end of the first half. Let's see where they spot it. Yeah, they give McIntosh all the way to the 40, so that's a 39-yard return for Dasani McIntosh. And once again, it's Parker Awad who will return with Pete in the backfield. Awad with a good pocket, but that might have been hit at the line. Falls incomplete. Near disaster. But it looked like, yeah, somebody got a hand up on that defensive line, and it'll leave a 2nd down and 10. Might have been Thomas again, seeing that defensive tackle spot. That was the general direction of the pass from Awad. 2nd down and 10. Trying to set up the screen, and they do. Pete with a head of steam.
Flag on the play.
There is a flag down. Preliminarily, it's a gain of 13. But it's in that offensive backfield. Steve Smith, our referee today, will have the call.
Holding, number 71 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Golden West.
So a holding call. Ben Falatoy, the sophomore. 2nd down and 20. And they'll back it up to the 30.
Oh, the timeout on the field.
So Golden West going to take their first charge timeout with 46 seconds remaining here in the first half, and East Los Angeles leading at 10-7. Second down and 20 from the Golden West 30. Deep drop for Awad, good protection, throwing on the left side and incomplete. Looking for True Tanner. Trey Coburn able to get in there to break up that pass. And now it's 3rd and 20. East Los Angeles with no timeouts remaining. So they can't stop the clock, but you run the risk here. And flags down, and was Awad able to draw the Huskies off?
I think he drew his own guy off.
Well, that was a pretty good hard count. Elway-esque.
Okay, this will be an interesting call. Was the defender in the neutral zone when the? Okay, yeah, that. 71 moves.
Yeah, tough drive for Falatoy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
3rd and 25. Well, what's interesting here, Michael, is you got 40 seconds left. It's a 3rd and 25, and you think, okay, that's not much time, and East Los Angeles can't stop the clock. But
right.
I don't think you can afford an incompletion here. I don't think you want to punt the ball to DeGabriel Floyd again. Think about trying to get something maybe in the middle of the field and just run out the clock. Again, the Huskies can't stop the clock. They are going to throw. No, it's going to be a quarterback draw. So Awad keeping it in the middle of the field. He's out to the 38, the 39 with 30 seconds, and they should be able to run out the clock without having to punt the ball away. Now, I've got it at 4th down.
It should be 4th down.
Okay, yes, and they do change it to 4th down. So down to 18 seconds, and they haven't reset the play clock. So I believe that the Rustlers can let the clock run out here in the first half, and they will not have to run the risk of punting the ball once again. And instead, we will head to halftime here from Huntington Beach with East Los Angeles College on top of Golden West College, 10-7. Rustler football brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at Golden West and Warner is proud to be the official chicken sandwich of the Golden West College Rustler Athletic Program. Golden West won the toss and deferred, so they will have it first to start the third quarter. Trailing at 10-7. McIntosh and Pete awaiting the kick. Actually, some trouble back inside the 5, but able to make something out of nothing. Akechi able to find some room down that far side and get out past the 20. Let's see where they spot it. But that was nearly a disastrous start to the second half, as Akechi had all kinds of trouble handling that kickoff, but did eventually corral it and get it out to the 27. So 23-yard return, and Golden West will get things started in the third quarter, trailing it by 3. Awad, who was 4 of 8 in the first half for 28 yards, at the controls. First down handoff. Akechi, who was responsible for the Rustler touchdown in the first half on a 27-yard touchdown run that gave them a 7-3 lead at the time. With a gain of 5, bringing up a second down and 5. Huskies answering back on the punt return for a touchdown. Back to Gabriel Floyd, 66 yards. Back to Akechi. Good push again up front.
First down.
Akechi moves the chains to the 39-yard line, 7-yard run. And a fresh set of downs for Golden West. 8 touchdowns now in the young season for Floyd between offense and special teams, as that was his second punt return for a touchdown on just 3 returns total. Delayed handoff, and Akechi looking for a lane. He's out past the 42, the 43 before he's driven back. Camarena among the first to get there.
Picks up 5-6 yards. Pretty good push again by this offensive unit.
Yeah, on the right side of that line, we've seen Harlan, we've seen Matthew Mena, along with Chris Garcia. And that time it was Garcia and Harlan. So a 2nd and 5. On the right side once again, near first down yardage to the 48. Harvey on the stop for East Los Angeles. Jaquez Harvey, who along with his brother Damari Harvey, both figure prominently on that talented defensive line. Quick snap on a 3rd and short. Flags are down. Awad still going. He's into Husky territory, but let's see if this is coming back. The Rustlers trying to move quickly on a 3rd and short. So it's an illegal substitution on East Los Angeles College. But that will be declined because the result of the play was an Awad carry all the way to the 39-yard line of East LA. So the drive continues. It started back at the 27. And Golden West has it to the Husky 39. With Akechi in the backfield and whistles down once again.
False start, number 59 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So a false start will back the Rustlers up. It'll be 1st and 15.
I didn't see much there, Jeff.
Yeah, it looks like they got Noah Vaafuti, the left guard.
Just maybe a quick flinch there. Didn't really see much.
5 yards, but it stalls the momentum after the Rustlers had a couple of first downs and were moving the football. And again, here come the whistles and
false start, number 65. 5-yard penalty.
And some trouble. This time it's Chris Garcia from the right guard spot. And it's been something of a missed bag. The Rustlers have done a great job, I think, in particular in the run blocking game, moving this front line for East Los Angeles College, but a number of penalties going back to the end of the first half on this Rustler offensive line, and that has certainly stalling the drive here as it's now 1st and 20. Back to their own 49. A wad with receivers left and right. 3-man rush. Pressure coming from Thomas again. They set up the screen to Docknall on a high tackle. A short gain on the play before Andrew Lewis came flying in, and watch as he's up around Docknall's head here, and I think, Mike, that could have easily drawn a flag, but doesn't.
Well, technically that's not a foul. He doesn't make a ripping motion there to make it look like it's a face mask. I think if you're the offensive player, maybe you have to sell that as a face mask, maybe turn your head. 2nd down carry. Pete in some trouble trying to reverse field. Makes a good move in the backfield, and now Pete finds some daylight. Jashawn Pete with a spectacular effort. Stays out of a big loss. And this is all about Jashawn Pete. It's a great move on Tymir Jackson. That's great vision. Yeah, Tymir Jackson. Pick up your jock strap. Yeah, one more time. Nothing there. Hey, let's just cut it back some. Make one move, and yeah. So great effort from Pete. And a 1st down for Golden West. Play action and a deep ball looking for the corner. No, they're going to say that Tanner was juggling it as he went out of bounds. He thought he had it. And it took some time on the call. But let's watch here. We'll have a great look at it. Yeah, I don't think he has possession. Yeah, he's working against DJ Shanks over there. Actually, it's Trey Coburn on the coverage, and Tanner had gotten some separation. He had gotten a step, but just couldn't corral that football inbounds. Throw on the near side to Docknall, forced out of bounds. And we'll create a more manageable 3rd down. And we'll go back one more time. Look at the pass to True Tanner, and well, he's almost got it, but yeah, the feet are down. No, but I think it's a good call. I don't think he's ever got that football completely under control. Great job by the referees getting that one right, albeit it did go against Golden West. 3rd down and 4 from the 17 of East Los Angeles. Back to the ground, running room for Akichi, cuts it back. He's going in for a touchdown. Well, we'll bring it back upstairs. We get a great view. There is a flag down. It's back in the end zone. Probably excessive celebration. So this is probably going to be after the play as Akichi has his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game and gets outside. And Docknall able to seal it off along with Hayden Harlan. So the penalty is against Golden West, but it's after the play. As the Rustlers take the opening kick and go 73 yards, capping it off on a touchdown run for Rafa Kichi. Offman on for the extra point. Up and good, 9:36 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Golden West back out in front, 14-10. It's Rustler football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Take you out with a look. Great job sealing it off for Akichi, who wins the race to the end zone to give the Rustlers the lead.
want to issue a correction here. I believe I said the call was against Golden West. It actually was against East Los Angeles College, so it's the Rustlers who will kick it off from midfield.
Wonder if you maybe think about going for an onside here.
Interesting notion. And, of course, you've got the kind of defense, generally speaking, with the Rustlers, where you can take some risks. On the other hand, there must be a temptation to make them work a long field. How hard is it to go 85, 90 yards? This will be 75 yards as the kickoff will be out of the back of the end zone. And the Huskies will go to work from their own 25-yard line. And Frank Alvarez, who still is without an incompletion here today. He's 7 of 7 for 53 yards in the first half. First chance in the second half for the Husky offense. And DeGabriel Floyd onto the field. He'll line up on the right side. A tight end spot. And they'll hand it off on first down. Koffel and Mendez combining on the stop. Gain of a couple. Keandrick Douglas listed as a wide receiver, but gets the handoff out to the 28, second down and 7. Huskies in no hurry. Play clock down to 6. Alvarez has the snap. Good hole on the right side. Boy, that is a big play. Viramontes for Golden West tripping up Douglas. And if he doesn't get a hand in there to trip up Douglas, that's probably going to be a good 15 yards or more for Keandre Douglas, who had a lot of running room in his sights. But Viramontes just gets a hand in. And that creates a 3rd and 3 from the 32. So the freshman Daniel Viramontes with potentially a big play. Another handoff, and this is going to come down to the spot, but it looks like he's about a yard shy. Viramontes again there quickly. 3 straight carries for Douglas, and Michael, a pretty conservative response for the Huskies after the Rustler touchdown. And it leaves a 4th and 1 from the 34, and Bobby Godinez is going to put things back in the hands of his defense as they will kick it away. Burdick awaits the punt from Driscoll.
I mean, this is 4th and inches, and here we go. I think they're going with the power package here. No. Oh.
And Driscoll will kick it away.
Oh, there's a flag.
And there is a flag down.
Okay.
Good kick. Burdick all the way back to his 15. Slips a tackle at the 18. Still looking for a lane. Out past the 30, and Burdick out to about the 34-yard line. So a 19-yard return, but flags are down. And they're going to pick up the flag.
Yep.
As blocked into the kicker is going to be the ruling on the field. So the 19-yard return by Burdick will stand, and the Rustlers will take over at the 34. But Frank Alvarez, 7 for 7 in the first half, has done a pretty good job taking care of the football, but maybe trying to fool the Rustlers somewhat. They go for 3 straight running plays and have to kick it away and give it back to the Rustler offense.
Yeah, I think they were maybe trying to assert themselves on the ground. They did a great job of that in the first half, dominating time of possession.
Yep. They go to the jet sweep with Pete, and Pete able to break a couple of tackles. Pete out to midfield, dragging tacklers down to the 41 of East Los Angeles.
Coming back.
There is a flag down. Kennedy Lewis, able to finally bring him down with a little help from Juan Caldera.
You see it here, Jeff.
Yep. Boy, just reaching out with the hands. That was Christian Patero, looked like. And that is a costly penalty as it erases the long run by Pete that had taken it into Husky territory. And instead, a 1st and 20. Well, if this one stays a one-score game or goes down to the wire, remember that moment, because that was a real opportunity for the Rustlers to potentially create a little distance on the scoreboard. Akichi running left. Gonna maybe get back to the line. Shanks among the first to get there. No gain on the play. Well, they have it. I guess they'll give him a couple. Call it 2nd and 17. Winding under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Kichi remaining in the backfield. Quarterback draw. This is Luther Richardson. Richardson, one of 3 quarterbacks to see action on a regular basis. And Richardson, unlike Siri, who works in with Awad based on time of game, Richardson more comes in with a certain package, going to run the ball more with Richardson. So he comes in for one play, picks up about 5 yards, and he will depart, and we'll see Parker Awad on a 3rd and 12. Jonathan Smith, wide to the right. Good protection for Awad, finds Jimenez. Jimenez slips a tackle. He's out past the 40 and thrown out of bounds very near the first down marker. Lewis finally rides him out of bounds, but watch Jimenez going one-on-one with Fleischhood here, and he's able to get free and get very near the first down. This will come down to the spot. It looks like he's about a yard short. 4th and 1 from the 48, and the Rustlers are not going to gamble.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think you want to punt it to this guy either.
So do you consider kicking away? And I
considered going heavy here and getting a yard to extend the drive.
I mean, 3 punt returns on the season for DeGabriel Floyd. 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. That is a scary percentage, but and the Rustlers are going to take a timeout here. You wonder if there's going to be some discussion here about how to handle this situation.
I think the machine is recalculating here.
Well, it's interesting. I remember talking to one of the coaches and saying, in a similar type of situation when there was a dynamic playmaker back there, as we'll keep it here. So,
and Jeff, and their mobile quarterback 15.
Yeah, Luther Richardson.
Richardson came over to the huddle.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're going to call his number here.
Well, it's risky. They have run the ball well here today. 160, just under 160 yards on the ground.
Okay, so here comes Awad.
Yeah, on a 4th and 1, and rather than kick it away, but most coaches are somewhat reticent to really upset their game plan or do something like kick away from a player. You want to stick with what you do and what you've coached your team to do, but this is one of those situations that might be such an anomaly in terms of what you're facing that you have to consider going with something different, and they're going to line up to go for it here on a 4th and 1.
Josiah Lavin, the up back and the power eye. You got it.
Good push up front. Lavin leading the way. There you see the interior of that offensive line with Falatoy, Laban, Garcia, and they win the battle up front and move the chains.
See Laban clear out Fleischhood, move the chains.
So on a 4th and 1, they pick up 2. And now they can continue the drive, run a little bit more clock, give their defense a chance to get a little bit more of a blow. Pete. Pete through a big hole. Pete into the secondary. Pete inside the 10. Cuts it back. He's down inside the 5 and brought down just shy of the goal line at the 2. From field level. And it's a good hole. And then it's Jashawn Pete. And it's a guy that Nick Mitchell has been talking about since last year. And Jashawn Pete. And his tremendous running ability. Great speed that you see. Great vision. Great instincts. And there he hits the hole and into the secondary. Down to the 2-yard line. And now the Rustlers on the doorstep trying to make it a 2-score game. Pete straight ahead. Lowers the shoulder. In for the touchdown. Jashawn Pete with his first rushing touchdown on the season. Last week, the Rustlers did it through the air. 3 of their 4 touchdowns came on touchdown passes. This week, they're doing it on the ground. All 3 touchdowns on rushing plays. And Othman will come on to try and tack on the extra point. Well, the gamble on 4th and 1 pays off. As Pete, with a 52-yard run, sets up himself and the 2-yard touchdown run as he caps it off. But let's take you back to the 52-yard run. Good hole up front, and then the burst from Pete into the secondary. Shanks able to chase him down and keep him out of the end zone, but that merely postponed the inevitable as the Rustlers keep it on the ground, and Pete with a yard after contact and gets it into the end zone. 21-10, 2:51 to go, and for the first time today, some trouble for East Los Angeles College. They've been in this one, but now they're down 11 and facing a measure of adversity. And again, Golden West College football brought to you by Chick-fil-A at Golden West and Warner. Chick-fil-A at Golden West and Warner is proud to be the official chicken sandwich of Golden West College athletics. They'll try the pooch kickoff again, staying away from the return. And the Huskies will start from the 33-yard line. And that's the second time we've seen the short kickoff with DeGabriel Floyd out there. So that might be a recognition that they'd rather take their chances, give away some field position, but stay away from the big play.
Yeah, DeGabriel Floyd. Need to stay away from that guy. Whatever you can
well,
do, keep the ball out of his hands.
Between offensive plays and special teams, I did a little math at halftime. 18 touches, 8 touchdowns for DeGabriel Floyd. Pretty good percentage.
Oh, look, another touchdown.
Alvarez with Honstetter in the backfield. But instead he hands to Watkins, who tries to cut it back, but second effort will get him a couple of yards. Out to the 36. Good strength for Watkins. And at the bottom of the pile, there's Christian Patero coming up from his safety spot. 2nd down and 8. Well, 4 plays from scrimmage for the Huskies here in this third quarter. This very much the opposite of the first quarter. The Rustlers have turned the tables here in the third. They've really dominated time of possession, and the Huskies trying to move the football, yes, but also buy some time for their defense that no doubt is starting to be worn down as the time of possession evens out. But Watkins going pretty much nowhere. He got back to the line of scrimmage.
You got to get back to that north-south action, that east-west. As you said, for both teams, really not going anywhere. These defenses very fast laterally.
3rd and 7 from the 36, and this is a big, big play for the Huskies. you have the feeling, the way the Rustlers are moving the football, they can ill afford to go 3 and out here and give it back. The Rustlers might really be able to create some distance on the scoreboard. Already leading by 11. They'll empty the backfield for Alvarez. They set up the screen, but losing his footing. A flag is down. They find Jalen Moore, but a personal foul against Golden West, and that is a big, big call because Moore was well short of the first down, picked up maybe a yard or two. So they were going to have to kick it away, but a roughing the passer call will give East Los Angeles 15 yards and of considerably more import, a first down. And a chance to run some more clock and pick up a measure of momentum here in a game that they trail by 11. 1:02, we believe, remaining here in the third quarter. We seem to have lost the scoreboard for a moment. They'll spot the football at the Golden West 49 after they assess the penalty on Austin Gerbich, who delivered the late hit on Alvarez. All right, well, they said maybe 109, but then 101 was up there and said they'll go with that. Well, that's a fairly cavalier approach. So 101 remaining on the third quarter, and we're trying to reestablish our main shot here. So for now, we're going to do our best to try and keep you on our field level shot and cover the action as best we can while we reestablish our main picture. They are going to reset it to 109 remaining in the third quarter. And now the clock starts to move. Empty backfield on 1st and 10 from the Golden West 49. Alvarez, blitz coming, stepping up, looking for a lane, trying to get outside Patero, and he does. And he'll head out of bounds at the 42. 7-yard run for Alvarez. And that's the second time that Alvarez has flashed good speed at that quarterback position. Not necessarily known as a running quarterback, but with enough quickness to evade and buy himself some time, and there picks up 6 yards. The coverage in the secondary for Golden West was good, and Alvarez eventually just had to get what he could out of it. 2nd down and 4, 29 seconds remaining. Clock moving. Late third quarter. Rustlers have come back with a couple of touchdowns to take a 21-10 lead after they trailed in the first half. Quick screen.
That's a hold.
Outside to the 35. They're going to spot it, it looks like, back at the 36.
Not going to matter. This one coming back.
So a flag is down.
We'll see here.
They find Keandrick Douglas.
You see Jakari Embry getting held, saying, hey, where's the flag?
Yep. Bryson Corbin, the leading receiver for East Los Angeles College. And if my memory is right, I don't think Bryson Corbin, no, he does have a couple of catches for 13 yards here today. But the holding call there will move it back to the 49, and the Huskies look as though they're not going to run another play. And they will let the third quarter run out. Heading to the fourth quarter at Golden West. The Rustlers on top, 21-10. It's Golden West College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 2nd and 10 from the 49 after the penalty. Douglas in motion. They set up the screen. And whistles come in.
Looks like that hit the ground.
I'm going to say it's no catch, or that he, so it's a yard loss on the play. That looked like DeAndre Knox. Leaves a 3rd and 11 from midfield. Alvarez will empty the backfield, looking for the quick screen to Corbin, and it's incomplete. And the Husky drive will stall at midfield.
Yeah, there was contact made by the receiver with one of his own players.
Yeah, it looked like Keandre Douglas coming out, and that play a little bit out of sorts right from the start. Yep. Corbin late getting there, or the pass early. Hard for us to say, but either way, Driscoll and the punting unit on, and the Rustler defense holds once again. And at times, certainly with good reason, we have given an awful lot of praise to the Huskies, who deserve it here today. But you look up, it's early in the 4th quarter, and the Rustler defense has allowed 3 points, and that's without Jordan Palomino and Brogan Diasis. And once again, you have to marvel at how tough it is to move the football and score points against this Rustler defense, particularly here in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, bend but don't break. They've been incredibly stingy inside the 20s.
Yeah.
Special teams going to have a fun film session this week, I'm sure.
And they just don't, for as much as they fly to the football, for as explosive as they can be, as that one nearly blocked. Mike, I think what has to impress you is they don't give up big plays.
No.
And it goes back to something that Bobby Godinez said to us when we talked to him when talking about Golden West. He said that in his time coaching, and especially here in the SCFA, he says they play harder than anybody that he's seen that they go against, and it's just the culture here. But he says a lot of times, even when you think you have something going, they just have another gear that they go to, and they'll bottle up a play where you think it's going to go your way. Meanwhile, a flag down. This one against East Los Angeles. So the ball will go back to Golden West, 13:55 remaining in the ball game. So 40 yards. And the penalty against Golden West. Should say so, half the distance after the 40-yard kick, and the Rustlers will start from their own 7. Well, if the Huskies can get a quick 3-and-out here, they should come away with very good field position in a game that they trail by just 11. Still a lot of time to go. Braden Seary back at quarterback for the Rustlers. Keep it on the ground on 1st down. And a gain of about 3. Ketchy on the carry. Leaves a 2nd down and 7.
Long
call
3.
It 4.
Short 4. Oh, update from Oregon, Colorado getting handled. 21-0 in Eugene. We'll get some scores from around the SCFA before this one's said and done.
Meanwhile, Golden West starting to pile up the yardage as Akichi on the carry again. Near 1st down yardage. 217 yards on the ground for Golden West before that carry. That'll tack on 5 more, and it will leave a massive 3rd and short. Golden West 4 of 8 on 3rd down here today. This is a 3rd and 1. Akichi in the pistol formation. Play action, Seary on a designed roll and completes the pass.
That's a terrific play call, Jeff. And watch this one more time. Great execution. Roll them out.
Yeah, Jake Troxell. the tight end with the reception. 4 yards, but bigger than that certainly is the first down for the Rustlers at their own 20. Just one turnover in the game between the two teams. That was a fumble early by Golden West. A big play here. Tanner into the open field. Tanner, nobody's going to catch him. In for a Rustler touchdown, 80 yards.
80 yards.
Well, they find Tanner on the quick slant, and once he gets his shoulders past that last defender, it's a foot race. So Siri, who didn't get to take part in the party last week in the passing game, in the win at San Diego Mesa, with a touchdown pass here, finding True Tanner. 93 yards on that drive, the vast majority of it coming right here. As they find Tanner, and once he gets past that last defender, it looked like Brinkley's shoes. It just becomes a foot race. And the Rustlers have answered back big time, 21 unanswered. And they now lead at 28-10. It was a 10-7 lead at the half for the Huskies, but a couple of touchdowns in the third quarter. And now the Rustlers add another on the big play. Siri to Tanner. And it's been a dominating second half so far for Golden West as they take a 28-10 lead. Short kick again, working away from DeGabriel Floyd, and they'll give away the field position. Camarena will take it up past the 35, or I should say past the 40 to the 42. So that's quite a nod to not giving up a big play, to give the opposing offense the chance to start at their own 42-yard line. But hard to argue with success, as the Golden West defense has once again been up to the challenge and then some. They've allowed just 3 points here today, the one touchdown for the Huskies coming on a punt return. Alvarez first down. Under some pressure, still looking. Throws in the pass, incomplete. Bought himself some time and was looking for Baylor Corbin. But the pass incomplete. Meanwhile, a flag down and a roughing the passer call. That's the second in the second half against Golden West. That will give 15 yards. It was Braden Bailey. Who picked up the personal foul. That'll move it to the Golden West 43-yard line. And we're starting conference play here in week 4. Should mention that this is a National Central matchup, as some reshuffling this season. East Los Angeles, we talked about how close they came to winning the North a year ago, but they now moved to the Central. Honstetter trying to cut it back. He's inside the 40 to the 38. 5-yard run. So the Central picks up Golden West as they move to the Central. Boy, that is a loaded division. Mount San Antonio College, loaded. Cerritos, who we just saw win at Ventura last week. Golden West And then you got teams like East Los Angeles, obviously a ton of talent. Long Beach City College, capable of beating anybody they've shown under head coach Brett Peabody. So it's going to be crowded in that Central, and it starts here today, and the Rustlers trying to get themselves off to a good start in conference play. Alvarez with the play fake, throws on the far side, and it's incomplete. Trying to squeeze it in to Camarion Thornton. Third down and 5 from the 38. I mentioned some of those teams in the Central, and one of the teams that I didn't get to mention was the aforementioned Citrus College moving up from American, but they are undefeated over the first 3 weeks, and they're in that Central Division as well. Straight drop for Alvarez. Stepping up, able to shed one tackle, but takes a big hit and loses his helmet. Viramontes with a big hit on Alvarez. And now flags come in. And Alvarez, and he is calling for a little bit of help. And it's hard to imagine that he didn't get his bell rung on that hit by Viramontes.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a foul on the hit itself, but I think maybe a little excessive on the celebration. As we're going to see a new QB here for Eli.
Should see Trill Harris. And Trillian Harris, who's been playing quite a bit over the first 3 weeks. And he'll see his first action today. Let's look at it one more time. See Viramontes getting ahead of steam. And yeah, Mike, I've made this point before in our coverage, and
I mean, it's
a big hit. I just don't see what's what.
You have the quarterback run into the defender, basically turns into him. If you're the defender, what are you supposed to do? I think that's a bad call.
Yeah, I just that doesn't look like a fun hit to take, but I don't see where.
Yeah,
where that warrants a foul if you're Viramontes.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to penalize the Rustlers for the quarterback not protecting himself.
Yeah, I mean, the hit wasn't to the head. He didn't lead with his own head. It feels like, if anything, Viramontes got penalized for delivering too hard of a hit. Pass to the outside for Harris is incomplete. It'll bring a 2nd down and 10. So the drive continues, and there's still 10-16 to go here in the game. So if the Huskies can get in for a touchdown here, you get yourself back to potentially 11 points. It's not over. So that could still be a big call in a game that, at this point, at least is still somewhat in the balance.
Yeah, I doubt we're going to see him again here today after taking that hit.
Honstetter behind Harris. See Corbin solo to the right. And Honstetter bouncing it to his right. Has some room. Down to the 10. Taken out of bounds. Thacker eventually riding Honstetter out of bounds, but that may be as good a run as the Huskies have had today. Good push on the right side for Honstetter. Yeah, their previous long run was 9 yards from Andre Watkins. That was 21 for Honstetter. Down to the 7-yard line where it's 1st and goal. Well, a couple of personal fouls have aided the cause significantly for East Los Angeles, and now they are deep in Rustler territory. Harris fakes it to Honstetter, weaves his way forward. Down to the 2-yard line, 2nd and goal. Huskies want to move quickly. They will go to a jumbo package. And they will bring in DeGabriel Floyd in the deep eye. Harris gives to Floyd. Floyd on the left side, churning his legs.
He's in.
And he's in. Well, 19 touches, 9 touchdowns. And Floyd, from 2 yards out, gives the Husky fans who've made the trip something to cheer about here at Golden West.
Yep.
28-16. They'll bring on Rodriguez for the extra point. With 8:57 to go, this is significant. Try to get East Los Angeles within 2 scores. Certainly can ill afford a miss here and to be down where you need 2 touchdowns. And he's up and good. So now a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal gets you back to a tie with 8:57 to go. We're in the 4th. Golden West on top, 28-17. It's Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Golden West College football is brought to you by Chick-fil-A at Golden West and Warner. Chick-fil-A at Golden West and Warner is proud to be the official chicken sandwich of the Golden West College athletic program. (28-17). Elac creeps a little closer on the 2-yard touchdown run by Gabriel Floyd. And they'll tee it up. And can the Husky defense that is having all kinds of trouble here in the second half, slowing down this Rustler offense, get a stop and give their offense another chance? High kick taken at the 5. McIntosh angling to his right, takes a big hit out past the 25 to the 29. And let's see if we see Awad or Siri. Both have had their moments. Certainly Siri, the big one moments ago, connecting with True Tanner.
Jeff, how about this? Palomar on top of Riverside, 18-17.
How much time left?
There, it says it's in the second quarter, 3:27 to go. I believe that was a 1 o'clock start.
Well, that'll be a sizable upset. We see one. Pete with a first down carry to the 32. 2-yard run leaves a second down and 8.
Well, Jeff, we were front row and center for the game at Ventura. Mount Sac might be the best team in the South. That was an impressive victory. On the road. Last time you were there, it was...
Yeah, I mean, Riverside's always in the fold. Fullerton, I think you have to be impressed. They're off to another fast start.
On top of Mount San Jacinto right now at home in the third, 23-7.
Yeah, so it's crowded. Certainly those 3 teams is a good place to start, but we'll see by the end of the year who is there every year, it seems, as Pete hit by Floyd. Short gain on the play, brings up a third down. By the end of the year, who will we be talking about? But it gets more and more crowded every year, doesn't it? Golden West 5 of 9 on third down, facing a 3rd and 6 from the 34. And it's Luther Richardson on at quarterback. And Richardson primarily used more in running packages. He's got Pete in the backfield. Huskies looking for a stop. Jimenez in motion. They fake to Jimenez. Richardson tries the right side, but no gain on the play. Great response by the Husky defense. They are fired up. They're going to get off the field with a quick 3 and out.
Still a long way to go here, but signs of life here from ELAC.
Yeah, it was Juan Caldera, defensive tackle, and good read, and he was among the first to get there. Tamir Jackson in on the stop as well. And they limit Richardson to 1 yard on a 3rd and 6.
And you got to get this out of bounds or at least pin Floyd near the boundary.
Andrew Guzman with a kick. And Floyd's going to let it go. And this will take a great bounce for Golden West down to the 9-yard line. That is a punt of 55 yards with no return. And I'll tell you, I think DeGabriel Floyd, not sure, I imagine, about handling that kick, but that certainly worked in the Rustlers' favor. They will take any chance to not have to try and bring him down on a punt return, and they pick up about 20 yards on the bounce. So it's a long field. They'll spot it at the 10. And Trillian Harris, the freshman out of Mission Viejo High School, will bring the Husky offense on. Spreading it out with 5 receivers. Deep drop for Harris, and the pass incomplete. Looking for Knox, and the pass behind him.
A lot of pressure coming off the edge there.
Yeah, it's Harrison Koffel coming on the blitz, and this is actually a good play call against that blitz. But the pass just offline from Harris, and a 2nd and 10. Well, this is where it's so tough going against the Golden West defense because, again, so hard to generate big plays. And you got 90 yards. You'd love to see a chunk gain or two here if you are Golden West, or I should say if you're East Los Angeles College. Douglas with the reception and able to get around Koffel and get the first down, 14 yards. But, you know, Mike, if the pass is any indication, it's going to eat up some clock trying to move the ball against Golden West. And they are rapidly running out of time as we're under 6 minutes to go. Meanwhile, the clock continues to move. Play clock at 13. And not a whole lot of urgency for the Huskies. Blitz coming again. Harris with good protection, guns it over the middle and completes. Big hit from Brown, but a tremendous catch by Knox over the middle. DeAndre Knox picks up 16 yards and a first down. But this is a great job in the air, and you see Brown bring the lumber. But Knox, great job holding on to the football. Harris in some trouble and just has to throw it away. Mendez coming on the blitz. And Harris does a good job just to avoid the sack. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Down to 5:20 to go. Keandrick Douglas in the backfield. Some mounts to 5 wide receivers for the Huskies. 4-man rush. Short throw to Knox. Knox hit immediately by Patero. At the 42, that's a gain of just 2 yards. It brings up a 3rd down and 8, and the clock will continue to move.
That's terrific convergence on the football.
And it's so key for Patero to make that tackle in the open field. Limits the play, takes some more time off the clock. They do such a good job, Michael, defending those short crossing patterns week after week.
You have to assume a lot of the verbiage in the locker room, as colorful as it might have been, was about missed tackles.
Again, they try to set up the screen to Lewis this time, and Lewis is brought down at the 47. That will bring up a 4th down. 4th and a short 4. And the Huskies are going to have to go for it. First time they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're just 1 of 6 on 4th down on the season so far.
Here comes Floyd.
And DeGabriel Floyd is going to come on.
I wonder if you bring him on some jet sweep action across a formation. As tough as he is to bring down, see if he can set the edge.
He's in the slot on the left side. Snap, play fake, and the throw to Knox is complete. Jakari Embry comes away with the football, but they're going to say that Knox was down. Big conversion on 4th down for East Los Angeles. A play fake and a good throw by Harris, finding Knox.
Yeah, I think the runner's forward momentum had been stopped. It's a good call.
Clock moving, 3:30 and counting. Huskies doing a good job moving the football, but they are chewing up some clock to do it. Open on the far side, complete to Lewis. Kamarian Thornton with the reception on the far side. And Thornton working against that zone coverage. Makes the catch in front of Thacker. Sorry.
Jeff, that's a heck of a pass. You put it in between the DB and the safety over the top.
Yeah, Harris taking over for Alvarez, and he's now 5 of 8, 44 yards, finding Thornton. They're down to the 26. Harris looking right, throws over the middle, completes the pass inside the 5. The ball's loose. The Rustlers have it. Wow. Well, that may be the last opportunity. This is well designed. Looks like they find Corbin, and Corbin is inside the 5, and that's Marquise Brown. Gets a hand in, knocks that football free. First turnover today for the Huskies, and it's a killer. As it looked for all the world like Corbin was going in for the touchdown.
Looks like it was going to get well, I mean, you have to assume they would have gone for 2. And is there a discussion as to whether or not he was past the plane?
Yeah, I'm trying to check, and I do have to apologize. With these uniform numbers, is that 18 or 10? It might have been Smith.
I think it's 18, Stoy.
Okay. It is so tough to tell. So I want to try and have the right player if we can. But either way, it's Marquise Brown who just makes a tremendous play. Okay, so after the play, there's an unsportsmanlike call that's going to go against Golden West, celebrating that play. But Brown, what a play. And it's reminiscent, Michael, of a big play, if you remember going all the way back to the AFC Championship game with Cleveland and Denver and Ernest Biner with the fumble. And it was Jeremiah Castile when it looked for all the world as though Biner was going in for a touchdown and just reached out, very heady play, knocked that football free, and Brown does something very similar there. Just reaching out, getting the arm, and knocking that ball free and taking away that last opportunity when it looked like the Huskies were going to pull back within a score and at least create some drama. Flags are down on the carry. Yeah, and it looks like it was. This is Corbin. Great route over the middle, makes the catch. And Marquise Brown, the safety.
Yeah, he's not in.
Oh, no, yeah, he's about the 5-yard line there.
It's out here. He hasn't broken the plane, and I think Coach Godinez was trying to make the case that he was stretching across,
yep,
and then it got poked out, and I just don't know if you can make that argument.
Another penalty against Golden West going to back him up. So it's 1st and 15. The clock is moving. 2:16 remaining. East Los Angeles does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but still trailing by 2 scores. It would appear that the Huskies are going to run out of time in this one. And East Los Angeles is going to use their first timeout. We'll step aside, hear from Huntington Beach. Golden West on top, 28-17. It's Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 2nd and 13. 2:05 remaining. Awad with Akichi in the backfield. And they'll go to Akichi. Running right. Past the 10-yard line, or coming up on the 10, and East Los Angeles going to take another timeout. They'll be able to stop the clock one more time. So they're going to get the ball back, provided they can come up with a stop here on 3rd and long. But, Michael, it's a chance to maybe, I don't know if you have the scores.
I do.
Of course you do.
19-17, Palomar in front of Riverside. They're near the end of the first half. 37-13, Fullerton on top of Mount San Jacinto. LA Valley on top of West LA, 10-0. Glendale on top of Compton, 22-0. And Allen Hancock with a 14-6 lead at Allen Hancock versus Ventura.
Yeah, the Pirates making that trip up north.
Not an easy one.
Long drive, where the Bulldogs are always so tough at home. Meanwhile, back here, Akichi, 102 yards now on 15 carries. And Jay-Sean Pate, 90 yards on just 8 carries, the two combining for 192 yards and 3 touchdowns today. And again, the Rustlers over the last couple of weeks showing that they can go about it a couple of different ways offensively. And in one of those statistical oddities, 28 points in each game. It was enough for the win at San Diego Mesa, and if they can avoid what would be a very costly turnover here, looks like it could be enough here again today. They go with the read option. Not much doing for Awad, who is hit and dropped immediately by Jackson. And the Huskies will burn their final timeout. They'll get it back with 1:52 remaining. But they're going to need to get it done quickly and then get the ball back.
So the slate next week going to be San Diego Mesa at Saddleback. That'll be the evening game. Back here, Citrus comes in to Huntington Beach, take on the Rustlers next week. We'll have all that coverage there for you, along with Antelope Valley at College of the Canyons, Santa Barbara at Ventura, and Allen Hancock at Moore Park.
Well, that sounds like a fun Saturday for you as the head of SoCalCollegeSports.com.
A fun week.
Right, would that it were only Saturday for you. It's all week long. Well, it's going to spread the team a little thin. And we got that roster is going to be all over the place.
That's true. That's true. Shout out to everybody here at Golden West. Danny Johnson, Dean of Mathematics. He might have to clarify that for me, but he was moved up to the position of Dean. Acting Athletic Director, Tim Redmond.
Our sponsor, Chick-fil-A and Golden West and Warner. Guzman. And he's going to take the safety. 28-19, still leaves it at 2 scores.
That's a Belichick move.
And they'll elect to go with the free kick rather than taking the risk of trying to punt it from their own end zone.
Smart move.
And right out on the field immediately is DeGabriel Floyd, and goes back to a story that Bobby Godinez said about his tremendous young player in DeGabriel Floyd, and said that just loves to play and always wants to be out there. And even late in the game at Fullerton, where they were losing 51-0, it was Coach Godinez and the rest of the staff that finally had to take DeGabriel Floyd out. He didn't want to come out of the game even at that point, wanted to play, of course, and it's just not worth it at this point. Finish up for the day, and we'll get back to it next week, but he wanted to still be out there. So he waits back at the 28-yard line. The Rustlers will kick it away, and I tell you, you have to be impressed with the Rustler defense. We always are, but boy, Pete and Akichi and this offensive line, well over 200 yards on the ground. That after the 3 touchdown passes a week ago from Awad and Jimenez and Docknall. And this is a potent Rustler offense as well that we don't get always as much chance to talk about. And they needed every bit of it today. It is Floyd, brought down at the 48-yard line. So the Rustlers do a good job in kick coverage, and they'll give away the short field, but with 1:42 remaining and the Huskies out of timeouts, they need to come up with a quick score here and get the ball back. But I'll tell you, I've seen stranger things.
We have.
That was a good job. Amir Alamin in kick coverage, wrapping up to Gabriel Floyd. So Trillian Harris with Douglas in the backfield. Rustlers bring 4. Throw over the middle. Complete. Douglas twisting his way through tacklers. He's inside the 30 and down to the 26. Well, that was quick. The clock will move. It'll stop just long enough to reset the chains. It's down to 1:31. But that's exactly what you're looking for. 22 yards on first down. Harris trying to set his team and get ready to go. Flushed from the pocket. Harris still looking, throwing into the end zone and incomplete.
Harris got an arm.
Yeah, he flashed a pretty strong arm.
Lefty
Looking
moving
for
to his right,
Yeah.
overthrows it outside of the out the back of the end zone. That's
Looking for Thornton
just
at
kind
the back of the end zone.
flung it up there.
Floyd back on. That does stop the clock with 1:14 remaining. Maurice Newton checking in for the Huskies. Floyd solo to the right, Douglas in the backfield. Snap to Harris. Blitz coming. Harris moving up, throws on the run. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. I believe that was Thacker. Yeah, it was Thacker trying to jump that route. It's a dangerous throw. And Harris and the Huskies catch a break that ball was a little bit offline. I think if he hits his target, Thornton, Thacker's going to make that interception. 3rd and 10 from the 26, 1:08 remaining in the ballgame. Newton stays in the game with Thornton and Knox to the left. Floyd locked up with Jakari Embry, solo to the right. Harris stepping up, still under pressure. In some trouble, and he's going to be sacked. Back at the 39-yard line. Gerbich coming on the blitz. And Gerbich, who saw significant action a year ago, moved to a backup position this year as a sophomore, but still sees an awful lot of time. And with the injury to Diasis for Golden West and the injury to Andrew Jordan on that defensive line, all of a sudden Gerbich pressed back into a big role, and he comes up with a huge sack, leaves a 4th and 23. Out of the backfield, it's Douglas, brought down well short of the first down by Gerbich. East Los Angeles will turn it over on downs, and the Rustlers can come out in victory formation. They are going to move to 3-1 on the season. Well, the Huskies were game. Certainly a bounce back from a week ago. It's about as tough a 2-week stretch as you can find in the SCFA. Taking on Fullerton a week ago and then traveling here to take on Golden West. But the Huskies will drop to 2-2 on the season. East Los Angeles will return home to take on Orange Coast College next week. They'll try to break their 2-game losing streak as they welcome the Pirates. Golden West back at home next week, and they will welcome in the Owls of Citrus College. That will be 1 of 5 for us here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Golden West wins this one 28-19 over East Los Angeles College. And Michael, any final thoughts here as we get ready to sign off as the Rustlers move it to 3-1?
Another win, but I think we saw ELAC is definitely a team that can present some problems to you if you take them lightly. Golden West looked like they got started a little late, able to right the ship. Of course, that defense, as stingy as it was, not as stingy as you would have liked in the fourth quarter. Seemingly, ELAC was able to move the ball at will. They just dug themselves too deep of a hole.
Yeah, the running game really key. 220 yards rushing as a team, and Jay-Sean Pete and Rafa Kichi doing the job, combining for 3 touchdowns and nearly 200 yards on the ground between the two of them. And listen, if they can continue to run the football, playing defense the way that they do, the Rustlers are certainly in that championship discussion as well. I know we mentioned Mount Sac and Fullerton and Riverside and the usual suspects that will certainly be part of it, but maybe the Rustlers here this season as well. We'll see how it goes. They get the win here today, 28-19 over East Los Angeles College. For Mike Spada, everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com, I'm Jeff Stoynoff. Thanks so much for joining us. So long, everybody.